For example 3, we need to find the first term and the general term for a sequence where the 8th term is negative 1/3 and the 9th term is 1/9. This one's going to be a little bit tougher, but we can still use our knowledge of geometric, keep in mind this is going to be a geometric sequence, to figure this one out. One of the first things I like to do, especially if we're given 2 consecutive terms, is to find r. To find r, we need to take 1/9 over or divide it by the previous term, which is negative 1/3. Complex fraction rules. Remember that we're going to keep the fraction on the top, multiply that by the reciprocal of the one here on the bottom or in the denominator, and this one definitely will be, oops, that's a big negative sign, there you go. We'll make that the fraction bar maybe, so this is negative, and then we've got 3/9, which is 1/3, so it's negative 1/3. So we've got r at negative 1/3. To write our general term, that's just the equation to find the value of a term, and that would be a sub 1 times, in this case that's r, negative 1/3 to the n minus 1 power. We unfortunately don't know a sub 1. There's a variety of ways that we can figure out a sub 1. We could maybe even use some of our knowledge of logarithms to help us there. But for this one, I think it's just going to be easy to go backwards, especially when it's when we just have the 8th and the 9th. So what we can do here is we have to keep very good track of everything. And I'll just try to write a long T-chart here. And we'll do n1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We know this term is 1/9. This term is negative 1/3. So if we want to go backwards, we could just multiply this by the reciprocal of r, or divide it. So the reciprocal of r would be negative 3. So if we multiply negative 1/3 by negative 3, we get 1. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 would be positive 9. Then negative 27. Then 81. This value will be negative. 3 times 8 would be 24. And 1 times 3 is 3. So we've got 243. And then we're going to multiply this by a negative 3. So this position should be a 9. The next position will be a 2. And then we should have a 7 over here. This is the value of the first term, 729. That value is actually what we're looking here for. It just says find the first term and the general term. Okay, so we need to also do the general term. So the general term, remember, will be 729 times negative 1/3 to the n minus 1 power. Again, you could clean this up a little bit if you wanted to, but this is just fine. This formula will give us any term that we're looking for. You can double check this with these values if you'd like, just as a way to make sure that you are correct.